Do you manscape?
Hell yeah, I manscape, man. And my boss sure do thank me. But check this out. Not only do my boss thank me, my girl thank me too.
Hello. This episode of Nice and Neat is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Nice and Neat at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
Speaking about 8 million, I've definitely manscaped over 8 million times. And this, because I'm a former barber. So like being a barber, I would use clippers, but these, you hear this motor? Different. And do you see that it has the safety right here? So it doesn't even, I don't know if the camera could pick this up. It has the safety, it has the light on there. Wow.
That's crazy because it comes with the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped that has arrived with the old man. It's a game changer.
Bro, it got the crop ball deodorant. I smelled it and it's like, it's not too heavy. And honestly, this is one of those things because sometimes we feel insecure when we, it's just too much down there. You don't want too much down there.
It's crazy because this trimmer is the future of grooming and dare I say the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Manscaped is the best brand when it comes to manscaping yourself. Not only is it taking care of the balls, I see you got the weed whacker over there.
Bro, this weed whacker, bro, lately my nose hair is crazy. I don't know if it's because I've shaved my face and now I can get a better visual of what's going on in my nasal area. You know what I'm saying? But I realized like the hair has been going dumb wild. So
crazy.
It's crazy. So I'm so happy to have the weed whacker in my life, bro, to knock out the extra excess hairs. They're just hanging out.
You don't even need to go to the barber.
They're hanging out over my lip. I don't got to come see you no more.
Okay.
I don't got to come see you no more because I got Manscaped. I got the weed whacker. Is this a 2.0? It ain't 2.0. I got the weed whacker, so I don't got to come see you no more.
I got the 4.0.
Okay, what
and
you
if
got,
anybody got the 3.0.
I got an extra large t-shirt that says, and your balls will thank you. Yeah, that's what it says.
Hey, look, dude,
the
maybe you should try out some of the ball deodorant.
They got ball deodorant?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be using this tonight. Okay, no doubt, no doubt.
It's all good. Got the little, ain't no jitters no more.
This is nice.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old now, got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance I stand. I'm going for 4 in the fucking white sands. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can.
Get to my part.
I'm on the rise, I'm trying to keep a level head. She want my time, she begging me to give me neck. I'd rather shed blood to the ground.
Part right there. Shout out to Ciroc.
Yes, sir. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of Nice and Neat. And we here at the #1 podcast in Los Angeles.
Say it again.
We here at the #1 podcast in Los Angeles have an incredible episode for you guys today, as all the other ones. But this one is real informative. So you might even want to take out your notepads for this and just be able to take down some notes. It's one of those episodes we're going to be talking about self-development in all the different shapes, ways, and forms. More so in the 5 most important ones that we kind of came together and thought about when it comes to mental, emotional, physical, spiritual,
intellectual,
and your career growth. I mean, well, what we use when it comes to intellectual, we'll use. What do you want to use for that?
Mental.
Emotional.
It's mental.
Mental. Mental.
Let's just use that.
We'll use that for mental.
So
mental.
Spiritual.
So spiritual. Emotional. Mental. Physical. And your career. So financial, career.
Okay,
if you want to put the all on it, we'll do that. For myself, I think I have 2 that really stand out to me, and it's my mental and it's my spiritual. O's looking at me, guys.
Pick one, fam.
O's not a one or the other type of guy.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's 3 guys here on the show.
Okay,
so pick one. Bro.
I'm gonna pick spiritual.
Okay,
I'm gonna pick spiritual because for me, being able to rely on something that I can't see, something that I just have to have faith in and believe in, is really what my center is. So being able to, it helps me stay extremely principled. And since you made me pick one, I'm now looking at O for all the listeners. Since O made me pick one, what is one of your areas of self-development that you really lean on and rely on? Obviously, they all connect, but
no, definitely. I mean, like you said, we spent some time today really thinking about the right ones to hone in on, and they're all very important to me. But since you touched on spiritual, for me, just to give us another option, I would have to say mental. You know, although like the first thing that I do in the morning for self development is pray. That's spiritual. You know, the next thing that I do following my prayer is my meditation. You know, so like mental self-development is actually one of my favorite parts of self-development.
What's the difference in the two for you?
Well,
in meditation and prayer.
Well, the difference between the two of meditation and prayer, for me personally, prayer is more so for you guys, right? I pray for my loved ones, the people that I care about, others. Whereas meditation is selfish. It's all about me. I don't meditate about any of you guys.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
But I pray for you guys all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely the difference for me. You know, what about you, dude? What is the most important part of self-development for you?
It's mental. I think it's mental. Like you. You know, I felt inclined to say physical at first, just because, you know, so much of my life is predicated on just me being able to be active. But I would say mental, because it's just the foundation of everything. You know, it's how I've been able to stay in shape. It's how I've been able to get myself to the gym. It's how I've been able to manage ups and downs in business. It's how I've been able to manage ups and downs in my relationship. So I would say my mental development is the foundation. It's at the center of everything else, for sure.
It's crazy how you said mental, but the first 2 things that you spoke on were physical things.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? How does that work for you? Because you said going to the gym, and what was the next thing you said? Either way, it was about just your physical activity.
Yeah.
Like, why is that not physical? How is something physical all of a sudden turned mental?
Yeah, because when you really peel the layers back, you can understand that, like, even being disciplined in a gym, right? It's not necessarily the act of going to the gym. It's more so the discipline of it, right? That's mental.
That's mental.
Right? If going to the gym when you're tired and you're hurt, and conditioning your mind to know that, okay, this is what I need to do to make sure my body is right in order to perform in business, right? It's how I'm able to have energy throughout the day. It's how I'm able to have energy to, you know, be intimate with my woman. It's how I'm able to have energy to do this podcast, right?
Yeah.
It's me understanding the mental part of it, starting with my mind, because everything starts with mind before it starts with, like, body.
Yes.
Right. So just understanding that, you know, so that's kind of like why I would say, you know, mental first, you know, because I'm still able to function in do different things, even if, like, I'm not being physically active.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said everything start in your mind.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why I say spiritual is because that thought got to come from somewhere before it could even be in your mind. It's got to come from somewhere. And that's, for me, always the belief within, where your faith lives. You know, so when I say spiritual, so here we go. We're gonna go somewhere, right?
Come on, take us there. Let's go.
So
I'm here for the ride.
When I say spiritual, there's 3 levels. We actually just accidentally, we didn't do it on purpose. Spiritual, mental, physical. Those are the 3 components, right? So, like, let's say it's like, I want to be a millionaire. The desire is the spiritual. The thought on how you're going to created
is
the mental, and then the actual money, that's the physical.
Yeah.
So it takes steps, and I just chose the first step out of the 3 steps that it takes in order for it to be present, in order for it to be physical, because we live in the physical. Yeah. That's where we live at. So like, if someone said, you know, physical is the most important, I wouldn't be mad at them because it's an aspect, definitely. But I would want them to peel that back. We always talk about peeling layers back. I would want them to peel that back.
But you know what? Some may say, shit, if I don't work on the physical self-development of myself, like, how can I feel good about going throughout the day if I'm not in shape or I don't feel my best? Like,
where that desire come from?
I mean, I know that's a mental thing. I understand that. But like, this it's like for us, it's important for the mental to be first. But is someone wrong for putting the physical first? Because like,
well, it's not a right or wrong thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a right or wrong thing. It's just like what it's more of a, okay, even if I sit here and say, man, the foundation of my life is to be physically fit, right? Why? Why do you feel like that? Because I want to be healthy forever. I want to play with my kids. I want to be attractive. That's a mindset.
yeah.
So maybe the cause, maybe the byproduct is physical.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like what's happening, what's propelling you to be that is I think mindset. And I would even argue with like spiritual. Some people probably aren't even touched, or I guess I don't want to say in touch, but some people probably aren't even aware of anything spiritual about them.
And that's okay.
You
but
know?
it exists. And this is where I want to bring balance
what
in.
if you're not spiritual?
You don't have to be spiritual in order for spirit to exist. You don't have
but
to be.
to make spirituality the foundation of your life.
Spirituality essentially just more so goes into tapping into who you aren't yet for real. Like it's like who you desire to be, what is in you, you know, where you can connect with something that is outside of you. That is where you begin to connect your spirituality.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're overweight and you say I want to be in shape, you mentally have to be in shape before you actually are in shape. People who are overweight don't wake up and go to the gym at 7 a.m. and then they get to the gym and they actually carry it out over and over and over again. The physical is just a result of where your mind was at, and where your mind was at was just a result of the desire that was inside of you.
Okay.
So when it comes to the spirituality, I don't want people to think religion.
Because that's not what we're talking about. We're not saying religious.
No.
Spirituality.
No, we're not saying religion. And when I say people have to think about like the aspect of balance, right? Let's say physical development was number one for you. There are aspects of your life that can actually hinder that. You can, unfortunately, things can happen to where you're not able to wake up and go to the gym or walk or move. And now, who are you? If you based your life on that, who are you? So the reason why I say spiritual is because you can always tap into that no matter what's going on in your external, no matter what's going on in your mind, you can always tap into a source. So if you're focused on spiritual, if you're focused on even mental, if you're focused on financial, if your financial being is your crutch, look what happened in 2020. Mm-hmm. Who are you?
So let's talk about, like, for the listeners and for the viewers, all right, we want to talk about the different ways that we can focus or that we can improve development. All right, we're talking about spiritual. Let's talk about spiritual. Let's start there. Mm-hmm. All right. So what are some ways, what does that look like for someone who says, you know what, I never really looked at spirituality as something I need to improve on? Or like, what do you say to someone that's looking to improve in that spiritual department, right? What are some things that they can do? What are some tangible things that they could do to improve that? And why is it important to them? specifically, not you, right? Because we know how it feels for you, but to the person, we're saying, hey, these are the 5 pillars of development that we think that you should be aware of, right? Let's start with spirituality.
We start with something extremely small, and like I said, spiritual is looking at something that doesn't exist, it's not there, you haven't seen it yet, and believing that it can be what it is that you want.
Okay.
And that's something that's small. Is goal setting. Write your goals down.
Ooh.
Write them down.
Okay.
Write them down. If you want to, Omar's an actor. He want to be in a Marvel movie. Write it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write it down. Write it down and be the guy who's in a Marvel movie every day before the guy who is in a Marvel movie.
What does
every day.
writing down do for us?
You see it. You believe it. You feel it.
I feel like the lines get a little blurred because almost for me, that's like almost a mental thing, not a spiritual thing. Like I feel like a spiritual thing is more so connecting to a source, higher power, energy, nature, right? Tapping in.
Writing something else more tactical.
That's more tactical. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I feel like those lines get blurred a little bit.
I think you're right because they go hand in hand, but because like as humans, we can only really understand what we can understand. But like the thought of I want to be in a Marvel movie or the feeling or I want to be in a Marvel movie comes from somewhere before it's a thought.
I hear you.
Like I know Marvel movies
I hear what you're saying.
exist.
I hear what you're
That's
saying.
my mental right there.
I'm picking
I
up
know
what you're
they
laying down.
exist.
Yeah.
I know they exist. That's never been like a thing for me though, to where I'm like, I want to be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's crazy because I do want to be in a Marvel movie.
You should.
I will be in a Marvel movie. Yeah.
So like that's not a thing for me. I know they exist.
Yeah.
But that's not like a to where it was put in me. It was put in my heart. It was placed in my belief system, and then now it's placed in my mental. And then now when it actually shows up in the physical, then it's like, yo, it really happened. So like it has to come from somewhere first, and then
like depending on what you believe in, will determine where it's coming from.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, I think, like, having a source, that's a question that I ask a lot of people. Like, I don't ask them, like, what's your religion? What do you believe in? I ask them, like, what's your source?
What's the source? What are you plugging into?
What are you plugging into?
So is for you, you said you practice meditation.
Yes,
right?
daily.
Now, you would consider that a spiritual practice?
Nah, I would consider that a mental practice.
mental
I
practice.
would consider prayer a more spiritual practice.
Mental, okay.
For me personally.
Okay.
When I meditate, I'm not tapping into the source. I'm not even. I'm
trying to disconnect from everything.
I'm trying to disconnect. I'm trying to disconnect. I'm trying to disconnect and think solely about myself. Whereas my prayer, I'm talking to somebody. I'm having a real conversation about people that I really care about. So for me, that's it. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think that I've heard that when you go to the beach, like just take your shoes off, put your feet in the sand, so you can get in touch with the earth.
So they say until you truly get in tune with nature, it's impossible to get in tune with self. So like they say, it's very important for us as humans to spend time in the wilderness, at the beach, outside,
in the water,
feet connected to the soil,
on
right?
the grass.
That's a big thing for me, right? When I move into my home, like I want, even if we have artificial turf, like I want a spot in my home where I could actually put my feet on the turf. And when I mean the turf, I mean actual soil. Because I want to connect. I want my barefooted, you know what I'm saying? So I strongly believe in that. Like I've listened to many self-help books, listened to many audio books, like one being Seven Spiritual Laws of, Seven Spiritual Laws?
I think
Seven Spiritual Laws by Deepak Chakra. Is that,
I don't know.
I've never read that one.
Bro, didn't change my life. Changed my life. If you guys haven't tapped in with that, and I'll drop it below. We'll drop it below just so I don't mess up the title of the book, but it's by Deepak Chakra, bro. And he speaks on that, man. Like if you truly want to get in tune with yourself, man, you have to spend time in nature. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, bro. Like actually just placing your feet on the soil, getting into the sand, touching the water and shit like that. I think that shit is important.
Yeah, I pray.
Gotta pray.
I pray, man. I pray with I pray by myself. I pray with my partner.
Same.
And I think that not being afraid to pray is because some people feel because they don't like, they're not righteous all the time, that they're kind of not, they don't have that right
To pray.
You know. And I feel like one thing that kind of helps my spiritual self is just kind of having grace for myself and saying, hey, yo, you're not perfect. And just because you made mistakes doesn't mean that you can't, you know, indulge in prayer, because this is what it's for, you know? And I think that if you're listening and watching to this and you've been going through things and you feel like you haven't been like living the right way and you made some bad decisions, I think that you should consider that like you're a human being, right? You make mistakes and we all make mistakes. And the only way that, you know, you can like find that side of yourself is to communicate with a higher power. You may not even like believe in God. You may not believe in God, but like spirituality to you is to connect to a higher power or connecting to a source. So you have to embrace that and identify with that, right? For when we're talking about spirituality, when we're talking about physical growth, I think it's like the easiest thing to identify.
That's simple.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
That's simple.
I think it's the easiest thing to identify and just like work on, because we're all vain people just by nature.
Yep.
You know, we live in a society or in a world where other
Superficial.
people can see
Yeah.
us. And not only do we have to like look in the mirror, but we have to kind of hear other people's opinions. So it's very easy to like to work on the physical, but we're all fitness guys. Jalon's a fitness guy too, by the way.
Yes,
I called
sir.
Jalon in the gym last week. Dolo, treadmill, 30 minutes.
Dog did.
And he didn't even have the AirPods on. He had the over-the-ear headphones.
Don't talk to me at the
So
gym.
you know
I'm
when
that
you-
guy.
I'm in the zone.
You know, when
I'm
you got
that
the
guy.
over-the-ear headphones, it means, hey, I'm in business. I'm in business. So, but yeah, man, we've spent a lot of time going in, trying to make sure we're the best physical self. So we're able to show up for each other, show up for our women, show up for our family members, show up for people that support us, show up for our businesses. And please don't ever think that not being your best, please don't ever think that like not being your best physical self can really directly impact positively everything in your life.
It's you know, a lot of people they run away from the word selfish, but when it comes to your personal development, you have to be selfish with that. You have to be selfish with it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we wake up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
I want to be selfish.
I want to be selfish. I don't want nobody to talk to me. I don't want nobody to give me. I don't want nobody to ask me nothing. I don't even want the TV to be on. I don't want to hear nothing. It's just me.
And that's
This is
fine.
me. Give me time. Let me have that. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Nothing. This is me time. And you know that is a part of personal development as well, that you have to really understand that there is a time for just you. I don't care if you're married, if you have kids, if you live at home with your parents, you have to have just you time. You have to have just you time.
You got to carve that out in your schedule. It's got to be that important to you.
That important.
It's got to be that important, because if you're not right and you're not working on developing self and making sure you're the best person, you're going to hurt other people, not being your best self, not showing up to work. We even got into career development, right? But like you're going to end up showing
Second
up to work. Second half, you're going to end up going into work, putting up a piss poor performance, right? Having niggas having people, having people that you work with not being able to rely on you. You know what I'm saying? So like that's actually key. I actually can't wait to get into the career development.
Development. Yeah. Career development. Career development is a product a lot of times of a lot of the other things just working.
Yeah.
And going good.
Yo, it also does change kind of depending on who you are, depending on, you know, if you're a man or woman. So everything like is important, but the kind of the hierarchy of all of them change a little bit, you know. So I mean, nowadays, you know, career development is up there for women, but it hasn't always been like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different for us. So but yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in the second half. You know, I'm talking about
It's all about that balance.
all about that
Like
balance.
you gotta have that balance. Some days one might be higher than the other, you know, and then other days You know, maybe your career development will be number one some days.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in the second half.
Yeah.
What's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to the Nice and Neat Halftime Show. I'm your host, Omar. And right now, I just want to know how y'all feeling about season 4 so far. I know we only 2 episodes in, but we're excited about it. I know you guys have been pressing us all off season, y'all know what I mean, all off season about when we coming back, when we're returning, what topics we gonna discuss. So we just want to know. Drop it in the comments, man. How y'all feeling this season so far? Let us know actually what we need to talk about. We got a couple comments and topics that we have addressed, like internally about
That's
what
for the Patreon users to talk about the topics, bro.
My bad. Matter of fact, you guys tap in with our Patreon. Let us know what's up so we could address that and we can have some real dialogue outside of here. With that said, man, I want to get into today's halftime show and get into our favorite segment, you know, of our show, which is Dim the Rules. Duke, what we got, man?
Okay, before I get into the Dim the Rules, 2 things. One, I told them it's gonna be the last time they talk about my shades.
Oh my God.
Who is this guy? We're gonna normalize these things.
The listeners don't see you.
They ain't gonna see the listeners. Okay,
Listeners don't see you.
They don't see. Hey, but for the viewers, it's gonna be the last time they talk about my shades. The second thing is, Dammy told me that a lot of you guys have been in the comment. Well, it's not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys been in the comments, and you guys say, "Man, Duke says right a lot."
Oh damn. He going straight at him. Okay.
And I want to say,
Okay.
I want to say thank you. I'm trying to work on it. I appreciate you guys.
Working on that self-development.
I appreciate you guys giving me constructive criticism, and I'm aware of it. And as we move through these episodes, I'm going to try to work on me saying right a lot.
Wow. Right? I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
But yo, check this out, man. So we're talking about self-development today. And you know, we all take self-development and personal development really, really serious, and they just continue to show up, you know, in different ways throughout our life. And you know, throughout the journeys, we've all come across people that may have imposed on, you know, our personal development, and may have even been a threat to our personal development. You know, and I want to ask you guys, man, when you guys come across people, be it an acquaintance, somebody you're dating, a girlfriend, a family member, a friend, right? And you come across these people, I said right, but if you come across people that threaten that personal development, how do you guys handle it? Is it I have to get away as fast as possible, fight or flight mode, ghost mode, or is it more of a, okay, I'm going to work through it and explain, and we're going to have dialogue about it?
Man, I'll tell a personal story. Man, I had a roommate in college. Before he was my roommate, he was a real good friend. We remained good friends while we were roommates and all of that. And we lived with each other for, I think, a year and a half. But we were friends our entire time in college, man. And you know, I'm proud to say that I am a different person today than I was in college, right? I've made a lot of growth.
Strides, leaps and bounds.
Jelon is over here grinning ear to ear because he knows, right? I have turned a new leaf, you know? And this person in particular, man, I don't know if he was like not trying to let go of the person that I was, or he just felt like I was leaving him behind. I don't know what the situation was, but it felt like he wasn't allowing me to really prosper and grow how I was doing in the moment, you know? And for a while, I was like, you know what? This dude is my friend. I actually love this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a minute, I'm trying to understand and almost explaining myself, like, yo, what's up with all of that? And after a while, I realized, man, like, this dude is just not understanding, and for whatever reason, there's a disconnect with us. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure many people experience that. But for me, I literally had to let go of the relationship, and it hurt me. Like, literally to this day, I'm in a group chat with 2 of the other homies, and they're like, damn, you don't mess with homeboy no more? And I'm like, it's unfortunate because we've been through the rough together. You know what I'm saying? We've experienced so much of life together, and it's so sad that we had to separate, or I had to separate myself from him. But I felt like it would have been detrimental to my growth. You know what I'm saying? To my life, if I continued to sit there and let him suck it out of me.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what he was doing. It was fucking up my personal development, my growth. He was stunting it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, although I didn't want to walk away because it was somebody that I loved and I cared about, I knew that it was important and imperative for me. If I wanted to go where I wanted to go, I was going to have to leave him behind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate saying that even right here on cameras. I'm just expressing like my personal life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that I had to leave a friend behind, but sometimes that's what you got to do in order to better yourself. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know, I'll use this analogy. This is crazy because it's one of my favorite movies. And the only reason I know this because I've been having to think about that because my agent's been asking me about it lately. But like Titanic, right? If Rose let Jack, right? If she continued to hold Jack's hand at the end of the movie, she would have went down with him, right? At some point, you have to let go. Even if you said you would never let go.
Come on.
Sometimes circumstances change.
Circumstances change, bro, and everything is based on situations, fam. So like sometimes circumstances change and you gotta switch it up, man.
I really like this, them the rules. This is something that we all go through. Like, we all experience growth. We all have friends that experience growth. We all go through change. And, you know, we all have, like, truth be told, we can't be fully mad at the person who is trying to hold us back. And the reason why I say we can't be truly mad at the person that's trying to hold us back is because they're holding us accountable to who they thought we were or who we once were at that point in time. So I even remember when Duke was playing football and he was transitioning to be a designer, and he was like, man, it's going to be crazy. Like, I'm a football player. I'm moving to be a designer and this and that. And I told him, I was like, people believe who you are until you show them something different.
Yep.
That's your job, to show people something different. So I'm not saying run out on that person that was once in your life, but you let them know, like, hey, yo, this is what I'm on. And then you let your actions continuously show them, oh, this is what they on. Like, okay. And then that's where the respect begins to develop again. It's going to be animosity in the beginning.
Yeah.
For sure it's going to be friction in the beginning. It's always friction at the beginning of any change. It's friction at the beginning of anything. Really, you could be going into a new relationship and experience friction, and then there'll be prosperous endings on the other side. But people are always going to believe like who you are until you show them something different. Like, that's just, you were a football player, then you became a designer. You were in the lifestyle you were once in.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, this is who my dog is. This is who my homie Omar is. And you're like, yo, I'm not that no more. He like, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Until you show him something different. And now he can only respect it from a distance. Unless he's willing to cross those burning sands with you.
Wow.
Unless he's willing to cross those burning sands with you, he'll just be on the other side and he'll have to look and congratulate you. Because he's not gonna change to be that person. And people will understand that. Like, you don't have to tell somebody.
Or they don't, bro.
And I'll tell you this. You don't have to tell somebody you can't be in my life anymore. They will see they can't.
Yep.
And you just, you let them know, hey, yo, this is what I'm on. And that's your job to every day be the person who you say you are. That's your job.
Okay.
So like, they just only, if let's say, for example, every time we talk about something negative. I'm only talking to you about something negative because you receive it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not talking to you about something negative because you don't receive it. You are the person that I am. We connecting. Now, when you don't want to receive it, we can't connect. So I enjoy this, them the rules. I think the most important part is just like looking within and then being able to grow from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, them.
Duh.
Rules.
With that said, y'all, we're going to conclude this week's halftime show and get to the rest of the show. The only way we know how. That's with some positive energy, some positive vibrations, and a smile, of course, man. Second half, let's go.
We said we was gonna jump into something.
Career.
We said we was gonna jump into the career development.
Let's get to it.
We said we was jumping into career development.
it.
You know, this is great for you right now, Omar. You've transitioned from the NFL. You transitioned from being a trainer to now you're in the acting space, and you want to be the biggest actor that there possibly is out there.
Facts.
So now we're really moving into career development. Where does the career development for you even begin?
Well, I think whatever it is that career field that you're chasing or you're moving in, it's understanding that career, right? The ins and the outs to it. So for me, right, I want to be a movie star, right? In order to be a movie star, you have to be an excellent actor, right? We would agree. we would agree, right? If you want to be a movie star, you got to be an excellent actor. Okay, well, if you want to be an excellent actor and you don't know how to act, well, you should go to class, right? Like if I want to be a great football player, I will
take you out to
practice football.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's not complicated.
Right. The formula is not.
The formula is not complicated. The work's not complicated either. It gets hard and difficult at times, but it's not complicated, you know? Yeah. So for me, it's just been like diving into developing my skills. Like if I want to develop as an actor and in my career, well, then I have to dive into the prerequisites of that career, of whatever it is. So I got to study. I got to watch the greats. Man, I got to study body language on screen. Man, I got to understand how to break down scripts, how to dive into a character. What does this character actually want? What is this character's objective? It's more than just understanding the lines that are on the piece of paper. Right? If I want to just recite lines, I would just be in a memorization contest. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be an actor. I got to dive into like, what does this character want? What is this character searching for? And for me, it's like that. It's the work. It's the work, right? Being a good actor doesn't mean you're good when the camera says action. Nah, it's the work before you get in front of the camera that makes you great. That's part of the development. That makes you a great actor or great athlete or a great scientist or a great lawyer or doctor. It's the work. It's the work. Like people run from the work and wonder why they don't develop because you're running from the fucking work.
Speaking of work, you said prerequisites. Yeah. And I think in all these areas of self-development, there are prerequisites.
Absolutely.
So, Duke, and when we're talking about emotional development, what is a prerequisite for emotional development?
I think,
because it seems like work is the common thread. What's the work for emotional development? It seems like something that many people struggle with.
Yeah, I think compassion and understanding that your way is not your way, the highway. There's other people involved. With being emotionally intelligent is understanding that, okay, there's moving parts. It's not about what you want. It's not about just what you want. It's being able to take what you want and then also take what's in the benefit of other people and other people's feelings, and being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and vice versa, and then make decisions or do actions based on that. That's being emotionally intelligent, right? Just kind of understanding, like, there are certain ways to talk to people, right? I know that you and I, you guys, we're friends. I know as men, we have the luxury of telling men how it is, but also emotional intelligence is saying, hey, yo, as a man, I know what would offend me. So I know I can't speak to him this way because I know it'll offend him, whether I think that he should be able to take it or not. Yeah. Right? So it's being delicate with everyone's emotions, including yours. Yeah. And figuring out how to communicate and make everything mesh, as smoothly as possible. For the benefit of everyone. Yeah, that's what I think.
Man, I want to share this story. Y'all know I'll be having stories, bro.
Okay. And story time with us.
Hey, so listen. Today, this is a true story. Today I had an audition, right? And I get on the audition. I'm on Zoom. They tell me to be. First of all, the audition is at 11:08. 08. Who has?
That was it.
Oh, that was the time. 11:08. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. They were like, "Yo, be there 10 minutes early." Mm-hmm. Right.
10:58.
So I'm there.
I'm not the best mathematician, but
I'm there.
Okay.
Because I know that too. Yeah. I know 10. You must subtract 10. Cool. Mm-hmm. So I get there, right? I'm in the audition. I'm waiting. Of course, they don't pull up until. Oh wait, they didn't pull up until 22. So I've been in the meeting room for over 20 minutes, right? I hop on. I'm getting to know the guy who's running the audition, right? We're just catching up. He's asking me about some various questions. It was for this Best Buy commercial, right? I didn't get it. All right, but let me tell you why, right? Okay, the guy is like,
they told you that on the spot.
Let me tell you why, and it just goes into like this just emotional development, and just not being aware, and I just found it so disrespectful. I found it so whack, right? So I'm talking to the dude. He's like, "Yo, did you get the sides?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't get the sides. The sides are
Let us in. What's the sides?
Sides. It's the lines. It's the lines that the actors have, right? So he's like, "Yo, did you get the sides?" I'm like, "No, I didn't get the sides." He was like, "Nah, not even him. Some guy I'm thinking I'm just on a Zoom with one person. Mm-hmm. Somebody else chimes in. I don't see his face. All I hear is his voice. What you mean you don't got the size? Who's your agent? And I'm like, I'm kind of taken away, taken back by it. And he's like, who's your agent? Now I'm like,
who are you talking to?
Who this dude talking to? Who is this dude talking to? And I paused for a second.
This is an audition.
This is in the audition. And I'm looking, and the guy who I can see, he's kind of like, he's almost embarrassed, like
for him.
He's like almost like, fuck, bro, like my bad, man. Like he's like, I'm the casting director. You should have got the size. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, mentally, I mean, I didn't say it, but the way I'm looking at this dude, I'm like, bruh, who are you talking to? And I found it so whack that I couldn't even see this dude.
So you couldn't get my eye contact?
I couldn't even get my eye contact. And I was like, yo, in my head, I'm like, there's gotta be like a fucking Zoom etiquette. Like, you cannot just
And that ain't it.
And that ain't it, bro. Uh-huh. But I found it so whack that this dude, like, didn't even take the time to, like, he didn't even care about the situation.
He was just a number.
I was just a number. And like, I feel like this dude is lacking emotional development, bro. Yeah. Like, you don't talk to people like that. The way he was getting at me, it was almost like, yo, if we're in person, I would never allow that. You guys know me. I'm polite.
Also never talk to you like that in person.
He would never talk to me like that in person. And I was like, man, this is such a whack experience, like on so many levels. I was like, yo, if this is like what Hollywood is like, I'm gonna fail. Because I'm gonna get at somebody. I'm literally gonna get at somebody. I'm gonna fail. That's what I have to deal with. Because like as black men, as men in general, right, we don't deal with disrespect. And I felt that was so disrespectful. And I just felt like just thinking about our topic and today, I'm like, yo, this dude needs to work on his emotional development. Like he doesn't know how to connect to people, and he's just treating people like another number, and that's not how you treat people. You feel what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch on that because that was something that literally happened to me hours ago.
So like that compassion I was talking about, a compassionate person to be able to have that emotional intelligence or development is being like, okay, you know what? He doesn't have the size, but anything could have happened.
So I'm gonna challenge you to say this. I'm gonna challenge you. What if it was your opportunity to showcase your emotional intelligence, to really just take a step back and be like, okay, he's not on my level, because what they say, we never know who they is, but what they say is healed people heal people. So maybe he needed some direction and some hand holding to get to where it was appropriate. So like maybe he was like, nah, you know what, man, my apologies. I actually don't have the size.
And maybe I need to work more on my self-development, on my personal development, because
always, that's a never-ending thing.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe now that hindsight's always 20/20, maybe I could have handled that situation a little better. Maybe I could have been a little more vocal about the reason why I don't have it or whatever. But You know what? Maybe you know what? Now I think about it, I probably didn't handle it the best way because the second the dude that I was in, the dude that I was on the Zoom with was like, "Y'all can send you the size right now." He chimes in, "Yo, we don't have time to send you the size." In my head, I've been here for 20 minutes. If y'all would have been on time, I could have learned the size in 10 minutes and we could have still executed it. That's my thought process. But I'm here in the meeting room for 20 minutes just waiting for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I could have done a better job of like maybe helping him understand, but I feel like he just didn't do a good job. I don't feel like he's good at his job. I feel like he's arrogant. I feel like somebody then gave him his job and he just called the shots because somebody put him in a position to.
I feel like he definitely you could have been, you saying that like it would have been your opportunity to be, you know, emotionally developed, but you know, he controlled that room.
He does.
So if you control that room and you control the space, right, it's kind of like your job to make sure that.
I'm saying all of that could be true. All of that could be true. But just because you're in a position of leadership doesn't mean that you're in a position to actually lead. Like somebody can always chime in and you take a step back and you be like, you know what? I did approach that wrong. Like I did approach that wrong.
Great leaders know how to follow too.
Great leaders know how to follow. You know, like I just seen somebody get a new job and the boss on the second day of the job asked, you know, well actually I've never been asked that question. How would you answer that? And like just the fact that he was able to show immediate humility was just like, whoa, like as a boss, you're not trying to show that you know everything. Like that's impressive. And like honestly, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but it's always an opportunity to like showcase, do it better.
It's always
do it better, showcase elevation, show to him like, hey, I'm not frustrated, but you know, let me give you a mirror.
Yeah.
Let me give you a mirror of how I would have wanted to be approached. Yeah. And like it's just those are the learning things that we're just talking about.
No, for sure.
Next week when you have your next audition, if it happens again, it'll be a totally different approach.
No, definitely.
Be a totally different approach. You know, and if it is Hollywood, you'll make Hollywood better. Not that you're not gonna succeed. You'll make Hollywood better.
Straight up.
So as far as where we at, emotional growth, have we spoke about that yet?
No, we're talking all ways to be able to emit growth. We went from career. I asked you about emotional. Omar was talking about the importance of career development when it comes to just work. Like you got to put that work in if you want to have career development. And I asked you about emotional development in a sense of prerequisites. What's a prerequisite to emotional development?
Yes. But as far as, you are right, career development, right? Like it's such we can't run from that. Man can't run from that. If you watching this right now
or listening,
now we done talked about spiritual, intellectual, all that stuff, but career development for men is such an important factor in our happiness. Yeah. Because I feel like we gotta be able to say, man, we doing what we supposed to be doing for ourselves and our family. And it's one of the drivers, and maybe it's like man-made, but it's one of the drivers for our existence, I think. And that's how we find fulfillment, you know? So it's really important that we take our careers and our financial development serious and prioritize. Is it prioritize?
Prioritize.
Prioritize. I got some smart brothers up here. Prioritize.
Some shades.
It's the nice and neat.
It is the nice.
It's the nice and neat.
It is the nice. But we have to make sure that we always, make that something that is at the top of the list, right? The world, I don't care what your mentality is, I don't care what you think, or the world is not friendly and not forgiving for men that don't have career development at the top of their list, right? I don't care what women say. I don't really care if my man works all the time or, you know, has a great job, I just want him to like love me and he doesn't have to do anything. Don't believe it. Don't believe none of that. All right, take your career super serious. All right, like O said, man, work. All right, until you get to that position that you want to get to, because
what's the balance with that?
We just, you know what?
Gotta find
there,
it.
There is balance, but think about the balance once you start working too much, right? I wouldn't lead with like, okay, I need balance. I wouldn't lead with that, because we have that urgency. That urgency is necessary for us.
You don't need to find it.
No, you definitely need urgency.
That urgency is necessary for us, right? That we need to like get that head start, propel ourselves as far as possible to the point where it's just like, hey, yo, relax now. You know, it's like being at practice and your coach saying, hey, yo, you're going too hard. You're going too hard, right?
You don't go too hard until your coach says.
You can't just like come out the gate talking about balance. Like I'm picking and choosing when I want to go hard. Now you want to go hard until your coach be like, hey, yo, okay, relax. So that's the mentality I feel like.
Who's your coach in this situation? If you're in a relationship,
your coach is definitely like your woman.
Okay.
In a relationship, as far as like, hey, yo, you need balance. But as far as like, you just for everybody, you just like the society.
Yeah.
Society is a coach.
You know why you don't need to find balance initially? When you think about like a scale or like let's go like all the way back, like childhood, like a seesaw, right? Like it takes a second before one side starts to tip, right? So initially, like you don't need to find balance, like you're saying. You just need to work. Just work, and then you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Things start to shift, and then you'll be like, "Oh shit, I need to find some balance," right? But initially, you could actually go for a while before you say, "Yo, I gotta level this thing out." You know what I'm saying? It doesn't the overpowering of one or the other doesn't happen immediately. You know, it takes time. So like, I think what Duke said is important, right? Just work, and then think about finding the balance. But if you think about finding the balance early, I don't think you really get much work done.
Right? It's like looking for the cheat day before you like.
Straight up.
It's like looking for the cheat day before you actually put in the work.
No, that's real.
You know, like what you talking about, bro? You looking for a cheat day already?
An off day.
Nah, so
bro, we ain't even hit it 2 days yet.
So, yeah,
got you. So it's like being completely out of shape and be like, when's my cheat meal?
Yeah.
And it's like,
what?
You got to get in shape first before you have a cheat meal.
Exactly.
You locked
Got
in.
you. So you got to get your career got to be moving before it's like, okay, I could take this vacation.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's exactly what it is. But as far as, you know, this is why I love having these conversations with you two, is because we've been able to go deep, you know, and just be completely open and emotional, right? And I feel like because we've been able to go so deep, it's helped our emotional development and helped us become well-rounded men in all areas of our life with other people. I don't know too many people, and I'm not even being biased, but I don't know too many people that know you, God, and don't say anything, don't say like the best things in the world about y'all. It's like, oh man, I love, he's great, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Man, Jalon, this, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's a testament to us having those conversations, us being vulnerable with each other, us, you know, putting our emotional development at the forefront because it's important to us, you know what I'm saying? And challenging us, right? That's something that a lot of people don't do. But I think that if a lot of guys had the type of conversations that were conducive to emotional intelligence, emotional development, they'd see like so many, you know, life-changing instances come about, man. So I would definitely want to encourage everyone to, you know, not think of like emotional development as something soft, you know, or something that's only women should like take pride in. Men should absolutely be emotionally stable, right? Emotionally just well versed, you know, emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
all those things enhance just our emotional build and allow us to have better connections with other human beings.
I gotta say this before I know we're about to wrap it up and get up out of here, but I gotta say this because I saw something on Instagram the other day and I was like, man, that shit is so real, right? We sit up here and we've had an episode talking about basically black love, or why successful black men should date black women, right? And this post was about black love, and it was like, man, we do an awesome job of black people about preaching about black love, right, for someone that you're dating, but we don't do we don't do an as awesome job of preaching black love for our brothers, right? And that's basically what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not giving to each other enough. We're not pouring to each other enough, and challenging each other enough to work on our self-development, to work on our personal development, our career development, our relationship, all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to take that black love and just turn it up just one more notch, right, and direct it to like our brothers as well. So
Amen.
I saw that and I was like, damn, man, I never really thought about it like that.
Man, it's funny that you said. Today I was looking over a couple of things, and just like I was looking over, I don't know why, at the forefront of what I was looking over was group economics. And like, you know, when we're talking about development and we talking about black love and things like that, I was honestly proud as I was reading it that at the end of the day we got a business together.
Yeah, we showed do.
Like together.
We showed do.
Like that's like we're participating in what group economics really is, you know, and within that still holding each other accountable. Like not only like do we hold each other accountable just on a personal level, but now it even got deeper. Like we got a brand together. If I see you doing something stupid, it's like, bro, you messing up the brand, dog. You messing up the brand. Like we can't do that.
Yeah.
And I sat back and I smiled as I was reading about this, and I was just like, man, I wonder how many people within their individual cultures, you know, within, you know, just being black people or whatever they are, just like how many people are participating in like just like real group economics and holding people accountable on all 5 levels of development, you know, and being able to mesh on all 5 levels of development and really, really, really tapping into those areas. And it was just like, I was proud of us. I was proud of me. I was very proud of Nice and Neat, you know, and I love what we're building here. I love all of the followers and you guys listening. Like it puts a smile on my face when I go to bed at night. I feel like we're doing something right outside of just us.
I agree.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening to us and thank you for watching us. We really appreciate it. We hope you loved the episode. Please comment below in the comment section. Let us know what you thought. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Spotify. Subscribe to our Apple Podcast. Follow us on Instagram.
Don't forget the Patreon. Don't forget.
Also
subscribe.
You can subscribe to the Patreon.
Exclusive content.
All right. You can also follow Jalon on Instagram at just.jalon. Omar on Instagram at omar.bolden. And then myself at Duke. Once again, we really appreciate you guys. And thank you for rocking with us. Until next time, I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon. And this is another episode of Nice and Neat. And that's that on that.
I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance I stand. I'm going pour 4 in the fucking white sand. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on the rise, I'm trying to keep a level head. She want my time, she begging me to give me neck. I'd rather shed blood to the ground while I'm here. Put some weight on top of my name.
Wait. That's not the spot you was in?